Alright, there we go then. Welcome back to F1 Broke Boys Tier 3. Last week I did Tier 4, but this week we're back with Tier 3 for Round 11. The penultimate round of the season. It's the Canadian Grand Prix at Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Starting off with short qualifying, and this round could be a championship decider in both the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship, as Tolu, our championship leader, leads by 19 points over Jesus, which means that he will have to outscore Jesus by at least 8 points in order to win the championship. And in the Constructors, Ferrari are leading the championship by, well, 52 points over McLaren. Quite a gap. So they can win the championship as well tonight, just needing to outscore McLaren by barely any points at all. I'll check the announcement real quick. So yeah, just a few points for Ferrari. So he's only got one race remaining after this. 47 points can be gained in a race. So actually, McLaren need to gain points in order for Ferrari to not win the championship tonight. So Ferrari just needs to finish in front of McLaren, that's all. Can even lose a few points. So Ferrari pretty much in comfort for the Constructors' Championship. And Tolu's got a bit of an advantage to Jesus as well. Even if he doesn't win today, I'm sure he could be able to win it next week in the season finale in Abu Dhabi. He started off qualifying with LH Shelby into the wall there at the beginning, or at the end of Sector 2, that is. A place where Lewis Hamilton hit the wall in 2019 as well, in that very same Mercedes, although 5 years prior. I think it wasn't on his out lap, he was on a push lap, he already invalidated though. So he will have to try again. And here is our championship leader Tolu, who is about to start his first flying lap. That's right on board with the Williams driver. And that chicane, as Derek just went through, is very tricky with the track limits now down into turn 6, which can be tricky on throttle turn 7 as well. Josh Washburn, the first one, to set a lap time 110.6, and quickly gets replaced by both Haza and Soul Demon. Soul with 110.2, so not quite in the 109s yet. Yesterday pole position time in tier 2 was a 108.5, as we already go into 109s, because Soul Demon's teammate Shark has now gone up to provisional pole position 109.6, so a couple of tenths ahead of his teammate, but these are only the first few laps. Tolu now coming out of the hairpin, turn 10-11, Toots Terry now up to P1, goes 1.5 tenths quicker than the V-Carb just went. 0.5, and now into the final chicane, turns 13 and 14, very, very tricky with track limits, not only during qualifying but during the race as well. Place where you can easily pick up a penalty as Soda across the line, 110.3 is his first lap time. Not quite where he wants to be at this point, but it's only the first lap. It's a banker lap. He has set the time on the board, which is the most important thing in this stage of qualifying. Finn Evans in the Red Bull's gone up to second place, just a few thousandths ahead of Shark. And LH Shelby once again invalidated, already struggling with the track limits. Lennon's here on the mediums, 2 Ferraris still in pit lane, same for the 2 McLarens. And Zimniak now on the lap as well. In the Alpine, he was on pole for the Singapore Grand Prix. Unfortunately didn't finish that race, as he invalidates this run as well. He won't be able to set the lap just yet. Carnatar on up as well. Into turn 8 and 9, and he invalidates through turn 8 and 9. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the first or the last time we see someone getting track limits. Very easy to run just a little bit too wide. Critical skills P9 as Shark now improves his lap time to 109.2, getting closer to a 108. He's now just about 2.5 tenths ahead of Terry in P2. The 9 drivers so far have set a lap time half the grid with 11.5 minutes remaining. Still also a lot of drivers in pit lane. The 2 Ferraris, 2 McLarens are going out now. Alpha Wall has just started his lap going through turns 2 and 3. Purple sector 1 onto the second DRS straight. 2 DRS straights on this track. Actually no, 3 DRS straights. 2 in quick succession, and those 2 only have 1 detection point, so if you, which is right before this hairpin, if you're behind a car in front of you, will have DRS for both this straight and the start finish straight, which will be very important during the race. Wall seems to be on a clean lap. See if he can finish it. He can bit the wall into the wall there on the wall of champions. Coming out of turn 14 across the line. And 109.196 is good enough at the moment to put him up in pole position. So with his banker lap, he goes quickest. Now let's take a look at his teammate Wardy, who seems to be going purple through sector 2. Let's see if that is actually the case. Comes out of turn 11, and this is apparently a turn, that little kink there is turn 12. Now down into 13 and 14. Can he keep it within the white lines? He can. He can't keep it at the wall just like his teammate though. But he's going to come across the line. Not quite the time his teammate has set. The 109.7 is good enough to put him into P6. Mercedes out on track, trying to go for a lap. LH Shelby has been struggling with track limits so far. Lennons has gone up 7th. LH Shelby is currently keeping within the white lines, though he has probably the trickiest corner left. Seeing the final chicane. He is going very quickly indeed though, and his teammate corners ahead of him. Takes it nice and easy through the final chicane. Dutch Football FC is going to come across the line with 110.8, puts him P13 right now. Shelby do very quick through the final chicane, sending it. And 109.173, and it is going to be enough to put him on provisional pole position by only a couple of hundredths of a second. But he has gone quicker than Alpha Hype Wall. He finished first on track, I believe, last week in Portugal. No, that's wrong. He finished first on track in Texas, but he had a few time penalties, which put him behind Tolu. Last week in Portugal, he finished P6. In Texas, he finished 2nd. He did win 1 race already though this season. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. From pole position, so he knows what to do while starting from pole. Let's see if he's going to be able to repeat that today. And 2nd in the championship, Jesus. Is he going to set his first lap time? Obviously not the strongest in qualifying, P11, right behind his teammate for this race, because Let's Go in the other Ferrari, they know that they can't lose too many points to McLaren, who are currently P2 and at P8. So, well, if they finish like this, Ferrari are certainly not going to be Constructors' Championships tonight. Just champions, sorry. These two drivers without a lap time, Carnator and Zimniak. Carnator going back into the pit lane. Zimniak seems to be on another lap. Out of turn 7, DRS open. Turn 8 and 9. Down into the hard braking zone of turn 11. With a lockup on the inside. Goes a little bit deep as well. Didn't lose too much time on the exit. Full deployment on the back straight. And now into the final chicane. Oh, just within the white lines and able to keep it out of the wall across the line. Zimniak is going to go up into P9 with a 109.783, and Josh Bushman has gone up to 8 in the Sauber. Good lap indeed. Put him right in front of Wardy. That's Soul Demon who went up to P4. It's a second row at the moment for Visa Cash App RB. He had a dreadful start of the season. Then Soul Demon found some pace in Singapore, where he got his first win. At the moment they stand in 7th place. So around 44 points off Mercedes. 20 points ahead of Sauber. They are looking at a good result again. Moment coming out of turn 13. And Wardy goes to the top, 109.001. And out of nowhere, Wardy's gone up to provisional pole position. And he's gone up to pole position by 1.5 tenths to LH Shelby. And his teammate in P3, McLaren, currently have the advantage over Ferrari with 4.5 minutes remaining. Can they turn this championship around? That would be very, very impressive. Knowing that Ferrari currently have a 52 point lead going into the penultimate race of the season. At the moment they're P13 and 15 on the grid. Be able to improve from that. So look at our championship leader, Tolu, P12. Not too far ahead of his rival. He's not improving on this lap. Validated now as well. Currently the only one out there on the lap. Say that Lennon's just starts his lap, currently P11. In the Aston Martin, he's got critical skills for company tonight. Lennon's unable to find an improvement through sector 1, 3 tenths down. Football FC hasn't had the greatest qualifying session so far, and he's not improving either on this particular lap. He's got his teammate right behind him as well, giving him a nice slipstream. Shelby will probably need that though, as he is almost 2 tenths down, 2 tenths behind Wardy. Is he improving? He is. Not quite enough just yet in order to beat Wardy 38 thousandths of a second up on his time. He will need to find a little bit more in this final sector. Down into the final chicane. And it shall be absolutely sending it, and he did get an invalidation. Just a little bit too much of a cut on the second corner there. He was up by 1/10 of a second. Wasn't going to be enough for pole position anyway, but it was going to be quite a good improvement. Bab in the Haas, making his debut tonight. Really been paying attention to him so far. He's on a lap north now, improving by 1/10 through sector 1. Potentially get himself inside the top 5 if he maintains that momentum on this lap. Quite able to through the second sector. Is now 1/10 down on his time. And a half minutes to go. Into the final chicane we go. And the Haas across the line improves by just a little bit, but not enough to gain him a position. WLC does improve, but only good enough to put him in P14. His teammate has retired from the session, so LH Shelby is not gonna improve his lap time. Can Al5 Wall make it a McLaren front row lockout? Looking very good on this lap. Going into the hairpin now at the end of sector 2 is not quite improving, just at 1/2 down on his time. His teammate is still on an out lap, but is about to start his lap. He has just started his lap. Half a minute remaining in this session. And everyone currently is on a lap. Al5 Wall is going to be the first one to finish his lap as he goes wide and into the wall of the exit of turn 14. Carrying just a little bit too much speed into the final corner, and Al5 Wall, his qualifying is over. He will start no higher than P3 on the grid. Next up across the line is, I think, Josh Bushman or one of the Saubers. Neither of them finding a time to improve. And Bab is just starting a lap as the flag has fallen. And now we take a look at the two Red Bulls. Hazza first across the line, goes P12. Finn Evans going up to P6. Then we look at Just Football FC. He is not improving. Then Toots Terry, P7 at the moment in the Williams, goes up into P5. Good improvement from the Williams driver. Kislesko unable to improve. Zimniak goes up to 6th place. Shark into the pit lane. And Jesus only good enough to put him in P13. But what about his championship rival Tolu? And Tolu has invalidated his final run, and he will start behind his championship rival Jesus. P13 and P14 on the grid. Absolute disaster for the top two in the championship. And I don't think anyone else is on an improvement. Bab is on an improvement, by the way. He's on 1.5 tenths up on his time, currently P9. Let's take a look at Josh Bushman to the final corner. Keeping it nice within the white lines. A little bit of a hit at the wall coming out of the final corner. And Josh Bushman across the line improves his lap time, but not his position. And Bab has invalidated as well, so he will start P9. So that is qualifying over, and it's Wardy on pole position by 1.5 tenths to LH Shelby and almost 2 tenths to Wardy's teammate Al5 Wall. McLaren P1 and P3, Ferrari P13 and P15. Shark completes the second row. He will be in P4. Ahead of Twitch Terry, Zimniak, Sol Demon, Finn Evans, Bab, Josh Bushman, Lennons, Hassan, Jesus, Tolu, our championship leader, Kislesko, Just Football FC, Critical Skills, and Carnator in P18. We can now prepare ourselves for the race. Clear blue skies ahead of us. No rain in sight, as it seems. minutes until the race. Can Tolu win the Tier 3 Drivers' Championship? He will need to outscore his rival Jesus, who will be starting just ahead of him. Get him on the 7th row on the grid. Theory, Al5 Wall and Wardy are also still in championship contention, but Al5 Wall is 40 points off the Williams driver and Wardy is 49 points. So the chances are very low, but with a grid like this, Wardy can gain a lot of points. So can Al5 Wall on the man leading the championship, Tolu, who will be starting from P14 on the grid. Strategy wise, it should be pretty straightforward. Mediums to hards, hards to mediums, as the softs don't really work around here unless you got a very late safety car. Then you can put on the Red Bull tires, but in general they shouldn't be part of the strategy. Currently, Wardy and Elliot Shelby are starting on the hards. Not a lot of drivers are starting on the hards. Finn Evans in P8 and Tolu as well, like the man behind him, Kiss Let's Go, and also Critical Skills. Those 5 drivers opted for the hard compound tire. The rest of them all on mediums as it stands. In under a minute time, we will see the lights go on and out. Part of this race. Tolu and Jesus, the main protagonists in this race. Can the Williams drivers secure the championship, or will it go on to Abu Dhabi next week? And can Ferrari come back in this race? They're way down the order, but Jesus usually is very strong in the races compared to qualifying. McLaren have got everything to lose from P1 and P3 on the grid. Ferrari only have to gain. Here we go then, the 5 red lines are going on. Wardy is on pole position ahead of Elliot Shelby and Al5 Wall. The 5 lines are out and Wardy gets a very good start and is able to put in front of the Mercedes immediately. A bit of contact between him and Elliot Shelby, who went into the back of the McLaren driver. Al5 Wall is going wheel to wheel with Shark. Shark on the inside and McLaren on the outside gets the better traction and is able to stay in front of Shark for now. Tuchsteri and Zimniak now going wheel to wheel contact between the Williams driver and Shark as Tuchsteri goes off track, rejoins unlike Sebastian Vettel did in 2019 and is now finding himself side by side with the V-carb of Soul Demon around the outside. As we go on to the second straight, Finn Evans looking to try and get past these two as well, ahead of Josh Boschman and Bob rounding out the top 10. Dennis Lennons and Haas having a look up the inside of the Aston Martin, but staying behind for now, and everyone has survived the opening stage of this race. And here comes Elliot Shelby around the outside of the hairpin of Wardy, and Elliot Shelby, is he going to take the lead? Wheel to wheel with the McLaren driver, and Elliot Shelby takes the lead of this race on the hard compound tire. Brilliant move around the outside, and is able to get in front of both McLarens, who are both on the mediums. The Mercedes is on the hards. It's already a bit of a gap to Zimniak in P4, 1.1 seconds. He is on the mediums as well. Let's take a look at the tires. So Wardy has opted for the mediums in the end. So Elliot Shelby only with Critical Skills and Kislesko are on the hards. Everyone else on the mediums. Twitch Terry, Soul Demon and Finn Evans, P5, 6 and 7. Also being made into turn 1 Lens around the outside of Josh Boschman. And the Aston Martin is up into P10. Yellow flags are out, and that is Critical Skills. He's gone off track. A Shark already get a 3-second time penalty. Critical Skills coming out of turn 2 has got off And he's now down into P18. Our championship protagonists haven't really gained a lot. In fact, they lost the position, both of them have. Down to P14 and 15 in this race. Toto still behind Jesus as it stands halfway through lap 2. The sportsman looking right and left and pulling to the outside, going into the hairpin, and that's not quite going to work out. Aston Martin going a bit deep though. The sportsman trying to go for the switchback, but unable to get the traction down. As we switch back to the front, it's Wardy back ahead of the Mercedes of Elliott Shelby, and Wardy retakes the lead of this race. So that puts Elliott Shelby back in between the two McLarens as Alpha Ball deploying his ERS. He's going to stay behind. Oh, bit of contact though into turn 1 as he lightly hits the back of Elliott Shelby. It's Finn Evans trying to find a way past Soul Demon, but around the outside here is not going to work. Set off for P7 for now. It's V-car with a poor exit coming out of turn 5. Purple unable to get past just now. Now on to the back straight, turn 7, deploying ERS and DRS, but so does Soul Demon. Having a look, can't quite get past. Look at the gap between Shark and Lennon's, already 2.5 seconds between P9 and 10. Evans, bit of contact made with Soul Demon, and here we go again. And it's Shelby round the outside, and he is going to take the lead of this race again. Here comes Alpha Ball as well though, and he gets past Wardy. So the two McLarens swapping positions, and now Alpha Ball coming out of the final corner, has a better exit, pulls to the outside of turn 1. Will to will into turn 1, Elliott Shelby on the inside, Alpha Ball on the outside for the race lead, and a bit of contact made, but Alpha Ball does get the position on the exit. Bit of contact again as Elliott Shelby has a better exit. But you don't want to be on the outside here, and Alpha Hype Wall has taken the lead of this race. He's gone from P3 to P1 in a matter of few corners. He finds himself now in the lead of this race. Bit of a moment there as he hits the curb in turn 6. Still very much got Elliott Shelby for company though. Very close to the back of the McLaren as Bab is making some great progress in this race. He was P10 a few laps ago, and he's found himself now up into P5. So gaining positions left, right and center. Is now right at the back of Zimniak as well. Elliott Shelby will have the DRS for the second time, and is he going to pull to the inside? He is. Into turn 1, the Mercedes on the inside, and Alpha Wall is going to remain in P1 for a little while longer. He knows that he has the tire advantage, but is unable to create a gap to the Mercedes, who is running a bit deep and probably has gotten a warning with that. And Soul Demon has had a moment. He's gone off track through turn 3 or 4. Onto the grass, and he's now down into P10 and gets a 3-second penalty for good measure as well. So the good qualifying of the V-Carb team is kind of becoming undone. Down to P8 and 10 we go. Yellow flags out as well for Josh Boschman. So the moment Alpha Wall, what has happened to Alpha Wall? Only spun. Alpha Wall coming out of turn 9 has spun from the lead of this race. What has happened to the Mount P3 in the championship? This could be crucial for the constructors as Josh Boschman goes up again as well. Alpha Wall down to P17. What has happened there? Did he make contact with Elliott Shelby, or did he spin it on his own? I guess we'll have to see after the race, but that has left only one McLaren now at the top. Meanwhile, Jesus has found himself up into the top 10 as Bob has gone up to P3 now because of that. Has get past Zimniak as well. He's done quite a comeback drive so far in the Haas. Finds himself in the podium positions. And Josh Boschman retires from the session. He is out of this race at the end of lap 5. Oh, and it's Shelby running a little bit too wide into turn 8. And he picks up a 3-second time penalty already. The track limits seem to be one of his weaknesses on this game, as in Texas. He was running in a comfortable P1, but lost out due to penalties. And now he's already got a penalty as well. Again, on lap 6 only, so a long race to go. So under pressure from Wardy. Well, after DRS as well. On to the start-finish straight, pulls to the outside, and Wardy is going to retake the lead of this race on a lap 7. Switch Terry gets past Finn Evans into turn 1, the Williams up into the top 5. Jesus, he is in P10 and he's broken free from Toru. 3.5 seconds is the gap between these two. Toru P11 as it stands. Not having a great time at all in this race, and Elliot Shelby retaking the lead of this race. He's gotten past Wardy again on second DRS straight. He's just having half a look up the inside of Soul Demon, who is having not a great exit coming out of turn 10. He's now under massive pressure from Jesus, who has hits the back a little bit of the V car, but here comes Soul Demon steaming past with the DRS and ERS, gets past Lennon, so does Jesus, as they both get ahead of the Aston Martin, P8 and P9. Oh, Soul Demon with another 3-second time penalty as Finn Evans dropped down to P7. In the meantime, Zimniak has also got past the Haas. He's now up into the podium positions again. These four within DRS range of each other, that's a bit of a gap to Switch Terry P in P5. Seconds for now as he goes a bit deep into turn 7. He compromised his exit a little bit. Oh, and Soul Demon has had a moment into turn 7 as well. Probably went a bit deep into the grass even. And he drops down to P10. Lennons and Jesus both get past. Jesus up into P8. So the gap to the cars in front is 4.5 seconds. Which is going to be very difficult to close around a track like this, where DRS is very important. 3 DRS zones. So the good news for him is that Finn Evans doesn't have the DRS. Up back into P3. Lap 9 we go. And it Shelby is still our race leader. Bab sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:11.9. This driver runs a little bit deep into turn 2. That was a bit of a moment there for the Haas, or was it Wardy? Might have picked up a warning there, but Bab very close to the back of Wardy. But they both have the DRS, so it's going to be difficult to overtake. But it might have been Zimniak then. He has dropped out of DRS to the top 3, 1.4. He's fallen into the DRS of Shark. The gap continues to grow though to Jesus, almost 5 seconds now. Asa and Shush Football FC going wheel to wheel into the hairpin, and the Red Bull gets in front of the Mercedes. But the Mercedes has the DRS and will pull alongside, and he is gonna get past the Red Bull, or is he? Yes, he is not quite. Still I'm gonna go to the inside. That's not gonna work out. Going wheel to wheel into that final chicane. Yeah, that was to be expected. Switch there with a very early pit stop to the hards. The window was usually around lap 15 from mediums to hards. But at the end of lap 9, Twitch Terry has come into the pit lane, going for a massive undercut compared to everyone else. Shark has got past Zimniak. Out of shape. coming out of turn 9 as well. I look up the inside, but that's not going to work out into turn 13. Wardy now is going to have a look at Elliot Shelby, or is he? He is going to stay behind into turn 1. R5 Wall on the charge after a spin early on in this race. He just fought his way back into P12 as Bab now gets a 3-second time penalty as well, leaving only Wardy without a track limit penalty. Thus being the favorite for the win. So with 24 laps remaining, anything can happen as Tolu gets past the Lennons. Tolu is on the charge as well. Around 3 seconds behind his rival Jesus. Oh, he's gaining a little bit. Dimniak now with a penalty as Bab goes into the pit lane to probably cover off Tuch on to lap 12. See where he is going to come out. Look at the Williams on the main straight. The pit exit though is a straight line towards turn 2. There he is. And Bab is going to come out just ahead of Critical Skills. But right behind Shashupalassi and R5 Wall. So he is in a bit of traffic. But so is Tuch so could play into his disadvantage. He makes contact with the Mercedes. Twice now, who was running a little bit deep into turn 7 and 8. He's now going to pull alongside. Yeah, choosing to stay behind for now. And this is costing him time compared to the top 2. And we know that Elliot Shelby will be going long on his hard. Here we go then, finally gets past as Finn Evans into the pit lane as well, and that is Lennons as well. So more and more drivers starting to pull into the pit lane. Lap 13 it is now. Old Demon has been struggling for grip in this race. He hits the wall, coming out of turn 4 as well. And Wardy has fallen out of DRS range, so I think that is the turnover point between the mediums and the hards. Elliot Shelby from this lap onwards will have the tire advantage until Wardy pits. Gap is now 1.4. Up now right behind R5 Wall. Is still yet to pit on his mediums. It's going to make life very difficult for the Haas driver, who is going to pull alongside. And R5 Wall actually has front wing damage, so that could explain his fall off in pace. And Jesus into the pit lane, and so does Soul Demon, both going on to the hards. Top 6 still staying out, as well as R5 Wall, Critical Skills and Carnotaur. Only one retirement in this race so far, being Josh Boschman on lap 6. Wardy is now losing a lot of time to And it shall be 3.2, which almost lost 2 seconds on this lap. Surely it's now time to pit for the McLaren driver, as he can't be losing too much time to the Mercedes in front. And he is going to pull into the pit lane at the end of lap 14. Wardy, Shark is going to continue on, so is Simniak. What is Tolu going to do as Kislesko is getting past, and here comes Bap as well. Tolu goes straight on into the pit lane. Put up a set of hearts to see him till the end of the race. R5 Wall and Carnotaur both into the pit lane as well. So only the top 4 wearing critical skills left to pit. Is Tolu going to come out ahead of Lennons or right behind Lennons? Just ahead of the Aston Martin. R5 Wall comes out right behind. Like into the walls, R5 Wall gets a 3-second time penalty. Bit deep as well into 7. Shark and Zimniak both started on the mediums. Are they going to pull into the pit lane on this lap? Shark isn't, but Zimniak is. Lap 15 we go as Elliot Shelby picks up another 3-second time penalty. Well, my friend, all the best race today. Thank you, mate. Welcome to the stream. Yellow flags are out, and it's for critical skills, as he's probably hit the wall of champions. He is certainly a champion, but not the way you want to race around here. He's got front wing damage, as the right end plate is missing. It's now Alpha Ball for company. Alweer geen klinkers. Jongen. Het zit ook niet mee. As Alpha Ball goes quite easily around the outside. So does Shot Football FC. Penalties left, right and center. Only 4 drivers currently without a penalty. Funnily enough, the top 2 in the championship, Tolu and Jesus. And also Wardy and Kislesko, who's making his debut tonight. As Wardy gets past him, Shark now finally into the pit lane, going on to lap 17. And Mbap sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:11.8. Now, in P2, with his undercut, he's got ahead of Wardy. As Tolu now picks up a 3-second time penalty. That could be crucial. Especially if Jesus finishes the race without one. Everyone right now on the hards. So Kislesko and Elliot Shelby are still yet to pit. The gap between Elliot Shelby and Bap at the moment is 15.4 seconds. So I think the Haas driver will come out ahead once the Mercedes driver pits. Sterry, by the way, doing a very good job in this race. He pitted very early, but he's now up into the podium positions. He's got ahead of Wardy. P3 he goes. Oh, Kislesko into the pit lane, but he's picked up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that is unfortunate. And that is going to be well, crucial in the Constructors' Championship, because he won't score a lot of points for Ferrari. Neither will Alpha Wall for McLaren probably, but Wardy is still up there. And Jesus is only in the back end of the top 10. Soul Demon running deep. Jesus finding an opportunity to try and get past. possibly on this straight, or else on the back straight. And it shall be from the lead of this race, pulls into the pit lane, going on to lap 19, which is quite early for hard runners, as you will have to do 17 laps on these tires. And Bab will now take the lead of this race in the Haas. Will he come out ahead of Wardy though? No, he won't. Ooh, side by side on the exit, and it shall be round the outside, gets ahead of Wardy. Oh, that was very, very close, but just about ahead of the McLaren driver with the outside line. He is on the cold tires though, but he's got ahead of Wardy in the McLaren. As Critical Skills now also picks up a 10 pick a pine penalty, and he's retired from the race in pit lane. Second DNF of the day. Critical Skills out on lap 19. So that was crucial for LH Shelby's race to stay ahead of Wardy, as you can now chase after Bob in clean air. Still have Wardy for company though for a few laps, as he's still within the DRS range. When he goes deep and gets a 3-second time penalty, this is the opportunity for Wardy to try and get past. He'll have to go long around the outside, but he's not going to get past. He weaves aggressively on the start-finish straight. Possibly frustrated by the time loss. I think what Wardy is trying to do here is stay behind Shelby, let him drag Wardy towards Bab out in front, who has got a 3-second time penalty, so that Wardy can get within 3 seconds and win this race. What I have to do though is stay within the DRS range of LH Shelby. He is doing that just now. 8 tenths is the gap. 9 tenths is the gap. Six between Bab and LH Shelby. Oh, and that is not going to help him. Wardy with a 3-second time penalty through the final chicane, and now it doesn't matter if he gets within 3 seconds. He will actually have to overtake the Haas in order to win, as LH Shelby sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:11.6. Only one man in this race without attracting a penalty, and it's Jesus in P9. Will make that P8 as he gets past Sol Demon, who backs off very, very aggressively on the main straight. Teammate is finding a way past Lennon's P12. As it stands, Ferrari will not be Constructors Champions, if my maths are correct. Pull them up real quick. Wardy will, well, on track finish P2, so we'll get 20 points. And Alpha Ball will finish, let's say, P9. It is 7 points to 27 for McLaren. And Jesus P8 is only 8 points. And Kislesko P12 is only 4 points, that's 12 points. Oh, LH Shelby's out of the race. What has happened? LH Shelby coming out of the final corner. Has he hit the wall of champions? The Mercedes driver is out. And second in this race, the safety car has come out and has not picked up the leaders. Simniak gets a 10-second time penalty for a severe collision with Finn Evans. This is, by the way, very lucky for these guys that they safety car did not pick up the leader, as Twitch Terry's also got past. Wardy is all kicking off on lap 22. LH Shelby out of this race. Everyone pulls into the pit lane. Finn Evans thinks the softs will reach the end. That is going to be tricky, I can tell him that. All the others putting on a set of mediums. That is a huge twist in this race, because everything has been turned on its head, then it's thrown the race wide open for everyone, including Ferrari and McLaren. As the top 4 or top 3 pulls into the pit lane, all onto a set of mediums, Tolu will undoubtedly do the same. He won't do the same. He's gonna stay out on the hards. He's going for the gamble. Our championship leader knows this is his only chance of finishing ahead of Jesus. So Tolu is staying out on his 8-lap old hards. And he will be in P3 behind. So guess what? Twitch Terry. And Twitch Terry could help his teammate tonight. Tolu could still win the championship if he outscores Jesus by 8 points, I think it was. 8 or 9 points. At the moment he is getting 16 points and Jesus will get 9. So if it finishes like this, Tolu will not win the championship, especially with Jesus not having a time penalty, which will probably gain him a few positions extra. Twelve laps to go after this one. I think we'll do one more lap behind the safety car. Go back to green flag racing. Jesus in P7 without a penalty. Tolu in P3 on old hard tires. Everyone else on fresh mediums. What will Twitch Terry do? Will he help his teammate? Or is Tolu gonna have to fight off his rivals behind? We will have 11 laps of racing. Oh, Gislesko, yeah. He got his 10-second time penalty removed, so Ferrari are the only two without a track limit penalty. Let's actually check if they've got any warnings. Jesus has got 1. Gislesko has got 2. Actually, one of them is actually a collision, so they both got only a single warning. Jesus and let's go. Yeah, there he is. Track limits and track limits. So they've got a bit of a margin as well. They can pick up another warning if they need to. Lap 24 of 35. We're going on to lap 25. 11 laps to go. Safety car in this lap. And Bab leads this race on debut ahead of Twitch Terry and Tolu. When will the Haas driver decide to go? He does now, coming out of the final corner, and he plays it to perfection. He's got a 6/10 gap to Twitch Terry and a few more tenths to Tolu. Into turn 1 we go. Green flags are out. Tolu will be struggling on these tires. He's already dropping behind. Out of the DRS range of Twitch Terry. Got Wardy for company. 10 laps. His tire age as Wardy slams into the back of the Williams under braking for turn 4. Turn 6 that is. That 1.5 seconds is the gap already between Tolu and Twitch Terry, which is not a not great news for Wardy, who's trying to win this race. Because Bob in P1 has only got a 3-second time penalty as well. But here comes Wardy on the back straight, pulls alongside and gets the position, gets the job done. He's back into P3, but the gap to the cars in front is 2 seconds. Going on to lap 26. 10 laps to go, DRS enabled. Bob versus Twitch-Terry, but Twitch-Terry is got an extra 3-second time penalty. Solo will need to hope for a miracle. Or for something to happen to his championship rival Jesus. At the moment he's doing what he needs to do, and that is staying with Wardy within the DRS range. He's doing a very good job on these older hard tires. It's not really under a real threat from Zimniak from behind. As Al5 Wall and Finn Evans going wheel to wheel. Sol Demon has had an off, and there's contact between Al5 Wall and Finn Evans. As Twitch-Terry is going for the race lead, and he has taken the lead of this race. Tolu is having a look at the back of Wardy, but that is not going to work out just yet. Zimniak now right behind the Williams driver as Twitch-Terry, fastest lap of the race. Ooh, a bit of contact between Tolu, Zimniak and Shark into turn 1. 9 laps to go. And Zimniak is pulling alongside into turn 3, wheel to wheel, and Zimniak is going to get past with a bold move up the inside. But because of that, he's dropped out of the DRS. So, well, great news for Wardy, bad news for the cars behind. Great news for Jesus, still holding on, still without a penalty. And that is Finn Evans up the inside of Sol Demon. Wheel to wheel on the exit, the Red Bull gets past. Yellow flag surrounded, that's Lennon's or Al5 Wallace got off. He's down to P14. As Bob retakes the lead of this race, the gap's 3.5 seconds now to Wardy. So Twitch-Terry's P2 is safe. As it stands, Wardy or Zimniak desperately trying to close the gap to Wardy's now within 8 tenths again. I'll have to stay within the DRS range to fight for this podium, although you won't fight for the podium with a 16-second time penalty, that's for sure. Yellow flags, and that is Carnator who's gone off in turn 3 and 4. Disastrous day for Sauber once again. Not gonna score many points like this. Al5 Wall gets past Kislesko. Kislesko knows he will have to, well, basically finish within 3 seconds. He can gain a lot of positions. Ferrari can win the championship tonight. As Twitch-Terry is gonna get ahead of Bob to retake the lead of this race. He knows though he has a 6-second time penalty compared to Bob's 3-second time penalty. Not anymore, because Bob has now also got a 6-second time penalty. This is a real fight for the lead right now between these two, both of them on a 6-second time penalty. Sol Demon is out of the race. He has hit the wall probably, or has he not? I think he's gone into the pit lane. He has. So Sol Demon out of the race in pit lane. 4th retirement of this race. 14 drivers left. 6.5 laps to go. Al5 Wall, another 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help his or McLaren's case in the championship. The more penalties everyone gets, the better it is for Scuderia Ferrari. Tolu has fallen off. He is out of DRS range of Zimniak. He's fallen into the clutches of Shark, and that is Finn Evans up the inside of Jesus. Ferrari though has the better exit, the better traction, and is able to stay in front. Here comes Shark around the outside, bit of contact with Tolu as he forcefully finds his way past, running deep though into the hairpin, or into the chicane I should say. Tolu still very close behind, and Tolu now is right ahead of his championship rival. Half-5 wall back into the top 10, making good progress again. Five and a half laps to go. Yellow flags are out, and it's Haza and Just Football FC, and it's a very late safety car on lap 30. Because Just Football FC and Haza have collided in turn 4. Haza without a front wing, and Just Football FC damage to his front wing. Safety car is out with 5 laps to go. Is anyone gonna go for the gamble? If I were Kislesko, I would go for the gamble, because he has got nothing to lose. He knows the cars behind will have to pit. Garneto will probably pit as well, because he might as well just go for it. He is in second to last now. Anyone coming in at the front though? With only a handful of laps remaining. Tolu is still staying out. Half-5 wall though into the pits. So is Lennon's. Kislesko is staying out. These final 3 will of course pit as well. Well, not Garnetor, but Haza and Just Football FC will. Put on a set of softs. Got under 5 laps to go. The Drivers' Championship might not be won today, but the Constructors' Championship could very well be. Because Ferrari, now in P7 and 9, but still both of them without a penalty. Everyone around them has got a penalty. So what position could they get up to? If they both get into the top 5. With only Wardy on the podium, I'm sure that will be enough to clinch them the Constructors' Championship. Safety car will go in at the end of this lap, meaning we will have 3 laps of racing to decide the winner of this race. Wardy has the advantage, he's got the upper hand, because the two drivers in front of him have got a 6-second time penalty, and Jesus I think is just a little bit too far off. Unless Jesus finds a way to stay within 3 seconds of Wardy, which would be very, very impressive if Jesus can pull this off. But Ferrari might just get a double top 5 here. Safety car in this lap. 3 laps to go. Twooch Terry leads. He will decide the pace. "14 drivers, but only 1 can win this race." Anything can happen, and it usually does in Tier 3. It's over to you, Sterry, to lead this safety car restart. He is waiting. There he goes. Green flag till the end. Just Super C gets a 3-second time penalty already on the restart. But Sterry leads ahead of Bab and Wardy. Zimniak and Shark, that's the top 5. Then it's Stoden and Finn Evans has got past. Jesus into turn 1 already. So Jesus all the way down to P8. So that's going to be difficult for him then to win this race. Oh, and someone's going off. Zimniak has gone off in turn 4 and drops down to P9 as Jesus is going wheel to wheel with Finn Evans and he's re-overtaken the Red Bull. Jesus back into the top 6. Yellow flags are out and that is Alpha Wall into the wall on the entry of turn 4. And this has made McLaren today even worse. But Wardy is still in contention to win this race as Finn Evans sends it up the inside of the hairpin again and re-overtakes Jesus. These two are fighting it out. And this is not great news for Jesus, who's trying to win this race. As he pulls alongside the Red Bull into the final chicane. Surely this can't go well if they go wheel to wheel into here. The Finn Evans still remaining around the outside, going wheel to wheel through the chicane. Jesus with the better exit though, DRS enabled as here comes Kislesko as well alongside, and Zimniak almost going 3 wide into turn 1. The two Ferraris going wheel to wheel. That's not going to work out for them. Kislesko picking up a 3-second time penalty and Jesus is now fallen out of the DRS of the cars in front. So has Wardy to Bab and Twitch there, but he needs to stay within 3 seconds. That's all he needs to do on these 2 remaining laps. Currently, Jesus is on course to win this race. He's 4 seconds behind Twitch there, who's got a 6-second time penalty. He is 2.2 behind Wardy, who's got a 3-second time penalty. This could be a massive swing in the championship. We've got 1 lap to go. Can he pull it off? As Bab retakes the lead of this race, going into the final lap of this race. Here comes Shark up the inside of Wardy into turn 1. Bab picks with another 3-second time penalty. Ooh, that's not great news for the Haas driver. That is pretty much, well, throw him out of contention for the race win. Wardy though, still within striking distance. But so is Jesus. 4.5 seconds. And he's within 2 seconds of the McLaren driver. Jesus could win the championship here for Scuderia Ferrari. All he needs to do is not pick up a 3-second time penalty on this final lap, as he's pretty much got it in the bag. He only has 1 chicane, or he cannot lose it all. Tolu will not become world champion tonight. As we go into the final corner of the final lap, Bab leads, but he's got a 9-second time penalty. Into the final chicane on his debut, he is going to cross the line to win on track. Bab finishes in P1, Twitch Terry to P1, Shark to P2, Wardy to P1. But here comes Jesus, and Jesus is going to winning this Canadian Grand Prix. Jesus wins ahead of Wardy. Kislesko finishes 7th, Alpha Wall only P12, and that means that Scuderia Ferrari is Tier 3 Constructors Champions without a doubt. Ferrari wins as Jesus, without a penalty, driver of the day for sure. What a phenomenal drive. Made excellent use of the 2 safety cars. Managed to keep it within the white lines all race long. And Jesus is the man of the moment, and look who's there on the podium with him. Wardy and Twooch Terry. Well done to them. Tolu will lose quite a few points. As we take a look at the podium, Ferrari are champions. And Jesus is a winner for the 2nd time this season. Jesus wins from P13 on the grid, and Tolu, to be fair to him, P4 from P14 with an absolute gamble of a strategy, but he's pulled it off. What a phenomenal drive. Fastest lap of the race goes to Sterry, which will get him an extra point. One championship is wrapped up. Another one will go towards Abu Dhabi next week, the season finale. We'll have Tolu versus Jesus. Jesus gets 25 points. Tolu gets 13, meaning Jesus will close in by 12 points. The gap is going to be 7 points in favor of Tolu going into the final round of Abu Dhabi. I'll see you guys next time, which will be next week for the season finale. But that's it from me tonight. You all enjoyed. See you next week, where we will see Tier 3 champion being crowned in Abu Dhabi. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.